Good evening, YouTube. What is going on? It is Futures Brizio here. It is Sunday, August 9th, 2026, 8:40 p.m. New York City time. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Any questions, comments, leave them down below. Make sure you do that. Take 2 seconds to do that now before we get going. I hope everybody's had a great weekend, and I just figured I finally had a few minutes to come in my office and jump on the charts here. So I figured I'd make a quick video and just update a couple of open trades and just kind of see where we're at on some stuff. So we'll just jump right in. I'm taking a quick look at open accounts, open trades, and Forex. I've got these three: Aussie yen, New Zealand dollar long, and then a dollar Canadian short. So we're going to just take a quick look at those three right off the bat and just see where we're at with those. Okay, so the Aussie yen's looking pretty solid right now. It looks like we're trying to break this structure here, so hopefully that holds. And I would expect if that happens, that we'll see hopefully see prices get up to about the 112 level at least. There's a lot of old resistance sitting at that level, as you can look across here, multiple highs sitting at that level. So that would be a good kind of management place, if nothing else. Although certainly, it could go a lot higher, but that would be a good at least first stop here on this. So I'm liking the Aussie yen, so we're just going to let that one roll. Looking at New Zealand US dollar, the what kind of worries me about this one is you can see, again, guys, we're using range bars. I'm on the 250 setting, which means every one of these candles is 25 pips. You can see this has not been able to break out of this range. I don't know if you can see the bottom edge of my screen, maybe just barely. That says Sunday, August 2nd. So this red candle, this range started a week ago. Okay, we started in this range. All week it did nothing. Okay, and we haven't really moved much tonight either. And in fact, we didn't do anything on Friday. This has not painted a candle. This last green candle here painted at 2:40 a.m. on Thursday. So during just before the London Open, we painted this green candle, and we have not moved since then. So the question is, what is this doing? Is it just taking a little breather before it moves higher, or are we, is the end of this uptrend? We're going to see, a reversal or a big fat, either reversal or a big fat corrective move. I'm not sure. So this one does concern me a tiny bit. Let's see where I have my stop on that one right now. The stop right now is at 58.57. Okay, which is, yeah, it's just below. It's really just below these lows. So I'm going to leave it there. And if it does pull back and take me out, then so be it. But hopefully we get another rush higher here and we can at least get up towards these. My initial goal is to, back to this little swing high up here at 59.40. But, we'll see how that goes. Okay. So, but like I said, this is the nice thing about range bars. You can look here and say, what has been going on for a week? We've been doing nothing. All of this price action is actually, from last Sunday through Thursday. So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. And it hasn't painted another candle since early Thursday morning. Okay. So we do have that kind of situation going on. All right. So let's see what happens there. And then US dollar Canadian, we zoom out a little bit. Um, we do have, I'm short on this one, and I've been short for a while. Um, we kind of headed down. And again, I don't know what these old levels mean. This goes back to this isn't too far ago. This is June. This goes back to June, so about 2 months ago. This is June 10th. So yeah, just about 2 months ago, we were at this low right here. And but I don't know if there's anything really to this. Why price would pull back right here? Or it's just that it's a Sunday night, and that's it. Um, so for now, I'm going to hold this and hoping that this thing just continues to work itself lower. And, we'll see. But I wouldn't be surprised because it's been going down now. If we have one of these big pullbacks like we have here, right? We have this price went down, made a new low. We had a substantial pullback, made another new low, another big pullback. and now another big move down. So you would expect that the market's going to take a little breath here at some point and move up. And I'm not sure whether I want to sit through that. So I'll have to think about that one a little bit. Okay. So that's where we're at with my three open trades. If we just take a quick look through everything else, and again, guys, what I'm looking for are trending markets, and I'm looking for pullbacks, you know, that are managing market structure and also that are holding market structure and pulling back towards these moving averages or even a little bit below them, as long as they don't break structure. So right now on like the Aussie dollar, this is what I look at, but so clearly there's nothing to do with this one right now, and nothing to do on the euro. This is trying to chop higher. There's a little overlappy right here, but either way, there's no trade right now. We've got kind of a little double top on pound US dollar, but again, there's no entry. The last entry was right here. Kiwi dollar, we just talked about. Um, dollar yen, um, nothing really here of any interest right now. We were kind of trending up. Then we had this big impulsive move down, came up again, looked like we were starting another down move, and that failed. And now it looks like we're going higher again. So I don't know. So either way, this one could be starting to form a new trend, but I'm not interested in this right now. It's a little unclear just looking at the recent price action, exactly what it's doing. Um, looking at the US dollar Swiss, again, kind of stuck in a range. It looks like it wants to go lower. We kind of rolled over on the moving averages here. We had this pullback and a three candle impulsive move down, but now it's kind of stuck and trying to go back up. So we might be entering into maybe some chop here. We'll see. Aussie New Zealand. We did go down, make this low. It looks like it's trying to turn back up again. Nothing to do here now. We're kind of in between. You can see we're in between the two moving averages. That's definitely a nowhereville for me. So I'll wait and see if this thing actually does start trending higher, and then we'll start looking for longs. But in the meantime, there's no opportunity there as far as I'm concerned. Canadian yen has been trading higher, but the last entry was back here on Friday. Nothing else until right now. Swiss yen is kind of range bound. You can very clearly see we're just kind of in this sideways range here. So not really looking for anything with that. I was in Euro Aussie. I took a Euro Aussie short on Friday. I got stopped out when the market opened today. I got stopped out on this candle. I had a really tight stop loss because I wasn't really too thrilled about this trade because of this big chop range here. And you can see there's definitely some support here. So I had a stop loss sitting, I think, right about here or over here, and I got knocked out when the market opened. It was probably just on the spread, on the high spreads when the market opened. And it looks like it's trying to go back down again, but I'm not at this point, I'm not going to take another short. I'm just going to let this one ride out and see what it does. The Euro Canadian, very, very volatile. You can see, we had this nice uptrend going, pull back up, pull back, not a really deep pullback, but up. And now, we had this move all the way down. Okay, so the question is, is this our market structure right here? And then this is all just one big pullback. We do have two bullish candles pointing up now. Um, or was this the market structure? And now we've breached that, and this will pull up and then eventually roll over. So I'm not really sure. I could take a long right here and just figure maybe this was a really long pullback right here, but being that it's Sunday, that's a little hesitant to me, but this one's kind of interesting. If this ends up being an uptrend and this breaks probably back above this old support now acting as resistance, then that definitely would put the bullish bias back on. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Um, this is Euro Yen. Again, we had this nice pullback. Price ran up, but it failed to put in a new high, and then it pulled back. Now it's trying to go higher again, but I really like to see some new highs put in before, or at least equal highs, preferably new highs before the pullback. When it fails to get up to make that new high, and then you have a pretty substantial pullback like this, that can be a little troublesome. So we'll watch this, but not really interested in doing much with that. The Euro New Zealand is really range bound, pretty ugly right now, so nothing going with that. And computer, these charts are really slow to load. Pound AUD is a lot like the Euro AUD. They're very closely correlated. Looks like about the same picture. Not really too thrilled with this right now. I don't think there's any entry either way. I'd probably want to see it go and make a new low and then pull back and then look for shorts, but I'm not shorting it from where it is now. All right, and this is pound Canadian. Okay, again, it looks like we've rolled over, trying to go down again. So if this downtrend is to continue, then at some point I'd love to see a little deeper pullback into these moving averages and then a move out of here. But at the moment, not really too interested in that. Pound New Zealand is a lot like Euro New Zealand, just chopped and range bound right now. And then we've got New Zealand Canadian. Big pullback here, up new high, back into the moving average. This one could be an interesting long right from here because we did get, this pullback and we ran up, made a new high, and we pulled way back, and then we're getting a rejection off here. I'd love to see another bull candle form here. That's why I've got this alarm set right here. Because if it goes up here and takes that out, so let's see, what's about 25 pips from this high? Yeah, that's about there. So, I could put like a buy order right here. If it runs up and paints another green candle here, it closes at the high. That probably would suggest, the uptrend will continue. So this is one that I'm watching pretty close. And New Zealand yen, again, pull back into the moving average. I think this one's a little early to say what it's going to do, but I'd probably like to see this go up and make one new high and then hopefully pull back and then, maybe think about long positions if this is going to keep going up from where it is now. But I think it's a little unclear, kind of that first move when it breaks higher and we have that first pullback. This is, a little, we were in a pretty big downtrend. So you have to respect that a little bit, but this is definitely on my watch list to see if this turns and starts going higher, which also would help my New Zealand USD trade if it's the New Zealand yen that's driving the strength here. So, all right, so that's it for futures. We got two or three here we're going to monitor, but there's a lot of junk right now, and so hopefully things become a little bit more clear. Jumping over just really quick to futures. We'll zoom out a little bit. Um, this is wheat. Now, like I said, guys, when you're looking at the range bars on these futures, because futures have limited contracts and then they roll over, if you use a range number that's too high after a contract rolls over, you're not going to get a lot of price action. So it's hard to really analyze the chart. Like if I switch this to 250, there's not a lot here. I mean, obviously, we're only looking at mostly recent price action. And I don't really like using 250 on futures. 200's about as high as I like to go. But, either way, there's no trade here right now. This is looking a little choppy. Uh, you know, we did go up right here, but we're pulling back. But throwing this big red candle up here is a little worrisome. So, anyways, no trade there on wheat right now. Corn, we've got to go even lower on corn because that contract just rolled over. Let's see, when was this? First candle on this was August 7th. So yeah, literally this contract just renewed late last week. So we have to really drop the range numbers. I dropped it to 100 so we can see a little bit of price action. And again, this to me is looking fairly range bound right now. So not really too interested in anything there. Soybeans. We'll see what happens with soybeans. You know, The moving averages are starting to move sideways, so which is a little worrisome. Otherwise, I would say, a pullback here and a bullish move up, we could look for a long, but you can see, we have a failed high right here, right? We had this high put in, pullback, came up here, failed to make a new high, and then a really deep move down, very, very bearish. Price went up and it did make a new high here. Okay. So this is really our master swing low right now is right here. Um, so let's see what happens. If we get like again a couple of bull candles pointing back up, then maybe we make another run up. So borderline bearish, bullish on this one. All right, and for a soybean meal, kind of stuck here. You can see we failed to break this high like 3 times. So again, we could be entering into maybe a little bit bigger range here. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, if we zoom out a little bit more, we do kind of have this range going on right now. So let's see what happens with this, but not interested in anything right there. And this is soybean oil. This is the most interesting one of the complex right now. Um, Looks like it's relatively bearish right now. Um, so you can see we came down here, tried to go higher, failed, and now it broke lower. So um, I would only consider this to be like a valid new downtrend if we ultimately, break and go lower here. I mean, obviously, if this turns and goes back and takes out this higher right here, then all of this was just a pullback. So this is in a little bit of question mark too, because again, I can easily see this if this, continues and takes out these lows, then we're definitely entering into a more bearish phase. But if this holds and we don't break and we have this, we end up coming up and breaking higher again, then we're probably going to continue the uptrend. So again, a little uncertain right now. So the only one that really is of, any potential interest right now, um, I don't really have any, to be honest. Um, because all of these look like they're maybe potentially ranging. But anyway, soybean oil is probably the only one that I'm going to be watching pretty close going into the beginning of the week. Okay. Um, I did throw S&P back on my watch list uh, just to use the range bars and see how it is. I don't know if I will even actually trade this. There's no trade here right now, anyways. But this is the mini S&P, and you know, with the range bars. We had just came out of this big sideways pattern here, went rallied higher, but so either way, there's no trade for me right now. If this uptrend is going to continue, again, I need to see a pullback towards some moving averages and put in a swing low and then start to break higher with the range bars, and then maybe I would think about a long. But either way, nothing there for me right at the moment. Okay. So, anyways, guys, that is the Sunday night look. That's pretty much all I do, guys. I just run through all these charts really fast. I'll write down the 2 or 3 instruments that I'm watching, and that's really all I do. And it's Sunday, so market's very weird on Sundays, very low volume and liquidity. So I don't put a lot of stock into Sunday night price action, but if there's an obvious trend, then it could be something to watch. So, uh, and so I will put things on my watch list. All right. But I will leave it there. Hope that was helpful. Any questions about these range bars or anything we talked about? Make sure you just leave a comment down below. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. And I hope that was helpful. Keep it short and sweet. I'll be in this week, hopefully making a little bit more content. I got to figure out what's going on with my live stream software, the StreamYard. It keeps lagging. So when I'm monitoring it on another computer or on my phone, it's lagging out and it's just like sitting there with a spinning circle, even though I'm talking and recording it, but on the monitor screen. I tested it on another computer and my phone, and it just keeps getting hung up with it circling. So I don't know if I got a setting wrong. Maybe I'm trying to stream too high of a Maybe I'm trying to stream high def and it's just not liking that. I mean, I might need to cut back the I might need to cut that back a little bit, maybe to 720 or something. So we'll play around with it, but in the meantime, I'll make the recorded video. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful night. And again, smash the like button on your way out, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you this week. All right, thanks.